around 6 under 66 so far. It's the round of the tournament. What was working well today?
Like I was telling Bob, I made a quick putter change there, 5 minutes before my tee time, and I felt like that was the difference. I felt like I struck it pretty well yesterday, just couldn't get anything going, and then I made a couple putts there early, and that kind of kept the momentum going.
Will, you're talking about momentum, obviously an excellent start, and you kept it going after the turn. How important was it to just make one birdie, make another, and just keep it rolling?
Yeah, I was just trying to stay patient out there. Obviously conditions were really tough early, so to get through, that stretch of golf, and then I knew that there was some good weather coming, and the wind was supposed to die down. So just getting through those first couple holes early, and then I think I made 4 in a row from 17 to 2. But I was just trying to keep hitting the shots and just let the outcome take care of itself.
At any point during the day, did it register that where you were on the leaderboard? Did you kind of realize what was happening?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, obviously. But when they bring out the cameras and the little fuzzy little mic, you're doing something right. But I just tried to stay in the moment, and just really excited for the weekend.
Will, you mentioned staying in the moment. What does that look like for you? Like, are you sort of a meditation guy? Are you just focused on the nuts and bolts of your game? How do you do it?
I just breathe. I think that's the main thing. I just really focus on my breathing, especially, if things get tough like it did early, or obviously, or if you're playing well, I just go back to my breathing and just staying in the moment and kind of using those cues. Using the cues of being near the lead, or if you're near the cut or whatever. It's just a cue for me to just breathe.
And what's the support been like from the Canadian fans for you so far?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I got my whole family here this week, which has been amazing. My brother's here with his girlfriend, and my dad and mom and stepmom, stepdad, and it's awesome. And obviously all the fans coming out to watch is incredible. It's my first, National Open, and it's just been a blast.
Well, last year you were number 1 on PGA Tour Canada, and number 2 is Jake Knapp, and you played with him this week. Can you just talk about how special it is to, do so well in your home country, and then also share that with Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I say this all the time. Jake's one of the best guys, out there on the Corn Ferry Tour. I was super pumped when we got paired together. He's just a really nice guy and fun to play with, and obviously to be in this position in Canada is amazing. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself at all, and just get that first tee shot in the fairway on one, and go from there.
And on your last hole, I saw you share a moment with your caddy, just with a little hug, and showed a little emotion. Can you just talk about how special that moment was to finish your round?
Yeah, I was honestly, when I was out there, I was just kind of, I was obviously in a great position, but I was, trying to hold myself together a little bit. I knew that there was, a lot of golf to play, but Colby and I feel like, we work so well together, and we've definitely had our tough times on Corn Ferry, but I felt like, we've learned a lot from each other, and I think that the tough times, are obviously getting better, and I felt like we are working really well as a team. This week's been great, and even the last couple events, I just feel like we're finding our rhythm.
Hey, well, great round. I know you don't have too much PGA Tour experience, so as you kind of go into the weekend, are you just embracing the fact that you have a chance to contend in your National Open, or are you just kind of trying to play it off as just another tournament and go about business as usual?
Yeah, I mean, coming here this week, I just try to treat it as another tournament, and that's honestly, coming here, I knew I was a little bit nervous, but then when I got out there and played some practice rounds, it really does feel like another tournament. Obviously, it's a bigger stage, and players are better, but everybody's trying to do the same thing. They're still trying to get the ball in the hole. So, obviously, this weekend's going to be electric. I'm really looking forward to it. So,
is it going to be more difficult to keep that mindset now after what you did today?
I don't think so. I feel like I've had really good practice, especially on PGA Tour Canada, and then on the Corn Ferry Tour. Just playing a lot of golf and playing some tournaments and stuff. I feel like I'm in a good position, and like I said, I'm just trying to get the ball in the hole. So
Speaking of PGA Tour Canada, I'm curious what you made of the PGA Tour Americas with combining Latino America and Canada. I know you've spent a decent amount of time on the Canadian Tour, so I'm just curious what your thoughts on that were with that announcement earlier this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great for everyone. I haven't heard, the details of the purses and stuff, but I know that, a 15 event season is going to be a whole lot better than, splitting the time between, Canada and Latin. So I feel like, combining the seasons is going to be great for the guys. And I think it's going to help some guys too, to, just coming out of college, to help them travel a bit. Being down in Latin America, I feel like it's tougher travel. Then you come up to Canada, it's similar to the U.S. So
was that a difficult transition for you when you were getting started?
Yeah, I mean, traveling Latin America is hard. I mean, there's just no way around it. When you're going to Argentina and Chile and places like that, it definitely is tough. But I feel like being out there and learning how to travel and getting around, it makes the travel in the U.S. and Canada much easier.
Will, sorry, just wanted to follow up on the putter comment from earlier. Did you go blade to mallet, shorter, longer? Why? What ended up happening with putter?
Yeah, honestly, I felt like I hit it great yesterday and I didn't make anything at all. And last night I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put the blade in the bag and go warm up with it this morning and see what happens. And we were actually stuck in traffic coming back from the range. So I had about 7 minutes to my tee time when I got on the putting green, and I took the blade out. I'm like, okay, let's just see. And I made like the first 6 putts from like 20 feet or so, right? And I was like, okay, this is in the bag today.
Why did you have multiple putters to begin with?
If you ask my friends, I mean, I got a lot of putters. I like to dabble, but yeah, I mean, I just think the putter that I put in the bag just has a little bit heavier of a weight to it. And the other one's super soft. So I feel like these greens, with end over end roll on that blade, I felt like it helped.
When was the last time you would have putted with this particular blade putter in a tournament round?
That's my first round putting with that putter. Yeah.
Sounds
in a
like it's
tournament
staying
round.
in the bag.
It's staying in the bag for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Thank you.